Hello, divas, diamonds, and dolls. Welcome back to our YouTube channel, Femininity with Momma Gail. Today, let's talk about two words. These two words right here. When a man can keep these two things in a relationship, the relationship is stable, it's strong, and it's going in the right direction. Because one of the hardest things to get a man to do is make promises. You can be in a relationship with a man, you could be dating him, things of that nature. He seems so interested and concerned and caring and, doing things with you and things of that nature. But if he is not a man who keeps promises, who makes promises, who's able to make a promise, and I'm not saying, oh, promise me you'll never hurt me, because that's not a realistic relationship. Promise me you'll never lie to me. That's not a realistic relationship. People lie. You lie. But you expect a man to make you a promise that he'll never lie to you because old boy from the past lied to you. And you're trying to get the healing from the past through this man by making him, which is unfair, to make promises to you that he'll never lie to you. A situation may come up where he has to lie to you. But anyhow, if he's able to keep a promise, if he makes a promise, if he is willing to make a promise, men don't make promises easy. I don't care what kind of relationship you're in. I was in a relationship with a gentleman, and we were in our early 30s. And it stunned me that we've been in a relationship this long, and I'm asking you to make a promise. You love me so much. Everything is coachy crunch. It's good. It's going well. And I asked you to make me a promise, and you can't make a promise. And that's when I realized that men do not make promises that they know they have no intention on keeping. And even if they have the intention of keeping it at that point in time, it doesn't mean that they are going to be able to keep the promise forever. So they will rather avoid making promises. A marriage vow is a promise between you, your partner, and God. And there are more divorces and vows and promises being broken today than any other time. So men are not going to rush in to making you a promise. But if he is willing to make the promise and do his best to keep the promise, this gentleman is serious about this relationship, holding on and not losing you at any cost. So he's going to do whatever he has to do to make sure that he does not break that promise. Whether it's step out on a relationship, tell you everything at all costs. Now, even if he tells you everything at all costs, it does not mean that he will not lie to you. Because the world, the universe, God has a funny way of doing things and showing up in things where sometimes a problem presents itself, and it's best to protect you. And the person may have to lie to you to protect you. But you've had the person to make this promise that you never lie to me, when you don't really understand the magnitude of what it is that you're asking of him. You ask selfishly instead of looking at things in totality. Because sometimes he may have, and vice versa, she may have to lie to you. So the promise, if they are able to make a promise, keep the promise, work their hardest at fulfilling the promise, you have a keeper. That man loves you with his heart and soul. Men will not make a promise unless he sincerely knows in his being of beings that he's going to keep it. The second P, the second thing, priority. And when I speak of priority, I understand that I'm talking to divas, diamonds, and dolls. The diamonds, you are the 18 to 34-year-olds. And you think that priority means jump when I say jump, put me first. When I call on you, stop, drop, and roll, things of that nature. No, that's not what priority means. Priority means that you are first and foremost. He takes care of himself. His relationship with God comes first. His relationship with you as his spouse, his mate, things of that nature, as partners, comes second. And then the children, the work, the family, and everything else comes underneath those two priorities. So the priority is not for him to just stop, drop, and roll just because you beck and call. But the priority is when you are in a situation and there's another situation that's going on and you are in dire stress, if you are in need, you need him and things of that nature, he's going to prioritize where he needs to be and get to you. Priority is if he's has a football game, but he's already promised you that he's going to go to a business meeting with you. He prioritizes and goes with you to the business meeting and things of that nature. If his mama call, and don't get me caught on the mama situation, but anywho, he prioritizes you over mama, sisters, things of that nature, because this is my wife. For this cause shall a man leave his mother and his father and cleave unto his wife, and the two shall become one flesh. He prioritizes you over mama them, over the close connection of sister them. Prioritize. And if you are in a battle with mama them and he giving them too much attention and things of that nature, a man is not going to battle with you over his mother. And he's not going to battle with his mother over you. So it'll be a situation where sometimes you and the mother-in-law have to handle. But in the same token, a man knows when he prioritizes you because you are his wife, you are his other half, you are his partner, things of that nature. He may not get in the middle of it, but he's going to show by action, by prioritizing you and doing what needs to be done for your well-being, for your home, for your household, for the two of you before he does anything for anybody else. Priority. He puts you on top. I don't mean priority in the sense of him having 4 or 5 girlfriends, but I'm the number one girlfriend. So he's prioritizing me. Young girls, cut it out. I've been there, done that. I don't care. Drug dealing days. I don't care. I'm number one. He come home to me. He sleep in my bed. This, that, and the other. Blah, blah, blah. He bring the money home. He paying all the bills. This, that, and the other. So I don't care about the next chick. That's not priority. That's stupid. Because all of you number one when he's with you. So I've been there, done that. Cut that conversation and remove that I'm number one from your vocabulary. But prioritize. Priority is, if back to my subject, if your man, your mate, your gentleman, if he's able to make you a promise, keep the promise. If he even makes the promise, period, he's a good guy. If he's going to make the promise and keep the promise, not just make a promise to get rid of you, to say, I'm tired of hearing it, she nagging me and things of that nature. No, if he makes the promise and sincere about the promise and is willing to live out the promise, then that's, he's a good guy. If he prioritizes you, puts you first, this is a good guy. This is a guy who, he's not with all of the other things. He's not running around and putting you in categories and, fourth, fifth, she's the first, and this, that, and the other, and things of that nature. When he loves you, these two things right here, a promise is hard to get out of a man. And prioritizing you is hard for a man because there are other loves in his life. There are other things that were there before you entered his life. Not to put you over and above them in all situations, but to prioritize and make sure that you are taken care of and your needs are met before anybody else's, to be fair. So when a man loves you, these two things right here, there are a whole list of other things that can follow these two things. But these are the two things that are the hardest to get out of a man. Him to make you a promise and to prioritize you. If you can get a man to prioritize you over football, girl. But anyhow, don't forget to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. This was Femininity with Momma Gail. Have a blessed and prosperous day, divas, diamonds, and dolls.